what you do. And I think about dads. Father, everybody in your family is going to suffer if you don't listen to God and follow His guidance in your life. Because you're the dad. In other words, God has made you the authority in the home, and regardless of what some people think, that's what God said. Now, whether the father lives up to that or not, everybody gets penalized if he doesn't. But you can't change the will of God. Father, you and I have the responsibility, by example and by our speech and by the way we live our lives, we have responsibility for our families. You don't listen to God, how do you expect your children to grow up wanting to listen to God? You don't listen to God, you don't get God's plan, how do you expect your children to look for God's plan for their life? And just to tell your son or your daughter, well, do your best. Do the best you can. That's not good enough. That's a cop-out. Father, you need, by your actions and your conversation, to listen to God, to share what God says to you with your children so when they grow up, they can't ever remember the time they first saw you praying or heard you praying or saw you kneeling. They can't first remember the time when you started talking about something that God said to you. Otherwise, they're going to listen to the world. You want them to grow up listening to God and learning to listen very early in life. I can remember still hearing my mother pray. I can still hear the way she said it. And some of the things that she said, she prayed over and over and over again. And I watched God answer her prayers. That's all I needed. If you don't give your children, your wife, your husband, a praying, listening husband or wife, or father or mother, you have deprived your children out of the greatest thing you could possibly give them. And my encouragement to you this morning is, make a practice every day to get alone with God, and before you start doing all the talking, be quiet and let Him speak.